Assalamu alaikum. And thank you, Jade, an inestimable organiser. Dr. Debayan, Dr. Shafi, Sheikh Khalifa, other distinguished guests. I am delighted to be invited today to offer some very brief closing reflections. This is an initiative which has enormous importance. Yes, it may be small, but it's growing, and it will grow. The Islamic Cultural Centre and the Muslim Council of Britain, and also a number of other bodies represented here today, are part of the Interfaith network for the UK, of which I'm the director. All of us work together to try and increase interfaith understanding and cooperation in this country. And that is no small matter. All of you doing that in different ways. This is an initiative led by the MCB, with the very active involvement of the Islamic Cultural Centre and a range of mosques around the country. Making our faith community life ordinary is what I want to talk about very briefly. Ordinariness sometimes sounds rather boring, but I have worked in interfaith relations for quite some while, since I came back from living in America back in the early 90s. And the most challenging thing about interfaith engagement is the way it can seem terribly sort of in a box and separate and specialised, and people worry about getting involved as if there was a right way to do it. And they worry about coming into places of worship in case they're dressed wrongly, or they accidentally say the wrong thing, or they bring the wrong thing across the lintel. Now, that is a challenge, and I think Muslims, along with some other groups, have even harder job to explain and put people at ease, because yes, if you come into a mosque, there are some areas where your hair, if you're a woman, should be covered, others possibly not. This needs explaining. Yes, the prayer is carried out very differently from how many other people pray in different traditions. These things need careful explanation. But that's the value, that's the power of this initiative. Because if people can be welcomed in and they can come to see this kind of environment in the mosque as ordinary and extraordinary, that is the heart of what these initiatives are about. Our faith, our faiths, whatever tradition we belong to, is both ordinary and extraordinary. We live it day to day in small things. We live it in our places of worship. And we live it in a scale that shapes our lives and our society. And if we want to live in a country, where interfaith engagement, interfaith relations become ordinary, where good relations become orderly, I hope they are, when they become ordinary, and where we become, to use a term that's used in one of the Anglican Church's initiatives at the moment, near neighbours, then this is the kind of initiative that should be wholeheartedly commended. And I hope that those involved in it will also open the door in the opposite direction. To welcome people in is one thing, also to go and visit when other people open their doors. This, as Mary Nicknam I think indicated, the two-way dimension is important. But I close simply by paying tribute to all of those who've organised this very special, this very important initiative, and to wish it well for the future. And thank you again for inviting me to offer reflections.